Okay, well, this is another video of 1996 BMW TDS. It's a 525 turbo diesel, and just like with the previous video, I kind of went over the car to see what I need to be talking about. So here we go. Now, a lot of the paint is original on the vehicle, and I also want to emphasize that we have not done anything to this car in terms of painting, fixing rust, really anything. So whatever was done, it was done by the previous owner. As we remembered on undercarriage, there was really nothing there. There may have been an area of potential previous repair, we don't know. As far as the body, there's no visible rust, but I'll go over everything. Let's start from the hood. So the paint on the hood is original, and it's not perfect, but it's nice, and it is original, which is a good thing. You do have imperfections. Here's a little wrinkle on the very edge, and then there are obviously rock chips. Car has about 300,000 kilometers, if I remember correctly, which is 180 something like that thousand miles. So you're gonna have some paint chips. Some of them have been touched up, some of them have not been touched up, and some are smaller, some are bigger. I'm trying to show you the ones that are kind of large and stand out. Again, nothing crazy. I'd say normal wear and tear, but it's there. The front bumper looks good. I didn't really see anything on it. We did install that bottom lip. We like them. We think it makes the car stand out a little bit nicer. Here on this fender, you have a spot repair. I don't know if this is visible, but right here you can see the paint has a little bit different texture. And I'm not saying it's a bad quality paint, but you can see the line, or I don't know if you can see it, but this is the area that was fixed. Now, it was probably just scuffed here, just basing on the rest of the car having no rust. I don't think this was a rust repair. Maybe there was a heavy scratch, maybe this area was scuffed. It definitely needs some light wet sanding and buffing. The rest of the paint, I do believe it's original. Moving forward, and I'm not going to talk about every single detail, just show you the bigger stuff. There's a touch-up scratch right here, and there is another scratch right there. Again, old car, some miles. You're gonna see that right on the bottom of the door right here. There's a little area where you can see some bubbles. Also on the other side of the door, you can see a repair that was done. I don't think this was done to fix rust. I think this was done to keep this molding attached. These moldings, they have actually plastic and metal pieces inside, and the metal portion of the molding rusts, and the molding separates from the door, kind of like you see right there. So people come up with different ideas to keep these moldings attached because they're almost impossible to find right now, and you can't really get them new. You can only find them used. Now this door looks good, but here behind the door again, a couple little bubbles, as well as here you get a couple little bubbles. It's all surfaced, nothing crazy. The repair of this wouldn't be really that expensive, but again, car looks very original, and we did not want to do any repairs other than whatever would be necessary. Over here you kind of see that molding separating, and that's why people come up with different ideas of gluing them back and having them stick to the door. But again, that's kind of something we see on every single one of them, or almost every single one of them. Another thing on this side of the vehicle, I don't know if this is visible or not, this door here has a slightly different shade than the rest of the car, which tells me that this door probably was repainted at some point. It's not visible when the car is in the shade, but at certain times when the sun hits it, you can see when the car is exposed to light, that door has a slightly different shade, but generally speaking it's not that bad. Rear bumper, a couple of little scratches here. The rear bumper has a crack. It's very straight, but it's there. And then here's a little area that looks like it was touched up by the previous owner. This used to be under a tag. There was a tag here. There was a European tag. Maybe there was some water, but that accumulated there, and somebody just tried to fix it. But there is a little touch up. Again, you can see the molding is starting to separate from the door, and the door is not rusted. It's just the molding itself that does that. So again, something that kind of probably needs to be shown, and that's about it. I think this side is actually a little nicer. There's a little scratch there. I don't know if you can see. There's a little one there. This side is pretty much nicer looking. Oh, here's something I just noticed. That housing is cracked. Couple of touch-up spots on this fender. Looks like the little chips have been touched up, but nothing crazy. Glass looks original. It's all BMW glass all around. And I think the other side is the same. Now, one of my favorite parts about this car is the interior. It's got really cool seats. It's got sports seats, and the interior is in great shape. Door panels, inserts, everything looks nice. The dash looks good. I know these dashes don't really crack, they kind of warp, but this one looks decent. It has working Bavaria radio. Headliner was replaced all the way back. Seats are really nice. Door panels. Same here. On the back seats you do have some damage, but this probably could be stitched. And on the front seat, I think right there on the passenger, this looks like it's from the seat belt actually. So, and again, headliner looks good. Interior looks very nice. Car runs great. Surprisingly, I enjoy driving this car more with the automatic transmission than with the manual transmission. We've had few of these with manual transmissions, and they actually sold much quicker and for a lot of money, but this car has a lot of power, and I actually like driving this one better. As far as air conditioning, the air conditioning works, but for some reason, and we haven't been able to figure it out, not that we really tried, sometimes you start the car and it takes a minute for these two lights to come on. Sometimes they come on right away. Oh, there we go. and sometimes it takes a few minutes. And when these lights are on, the AC works, and AC has been converted. I have noticed that when the car sits for a longer period of time, it takes longer for these two lights to engage and for the compressor to engage. Maybe it has to do with the stage of the battery, the condition of the battery. But I drove this car around the block a couple of times this morning for the first time, and it did take a while until this started working, but now it happens almost immediately. And again, when you see these two lights on, AC works, and it actually blows cold, so no problem there. Call us with any questions. Thank you.